Well, the words from the state treasurer are very clear. Yes, there is still a lot of work to be done. Detroit is in probable financial distress, as laid out in today's report to the governor, spelled out by the state treasurer, Andy Dillon, who admits that his office and the governor have known about the dire financial picture in Detroit since early spring, but didn't know about the city's running out of cash in April. That's when the Ernst & Young report of a few weeks ago made the prediction. What Dillon told me on the phone this afternoon is that for years, Detroit has been in violation of something called the Uniform Budgeting Accounting Act.
One of the main features of that act is to make certain that if your revenues are coming in less than you anticipated or your expenses are greater than you've budgeted for, that you have to make adjustments during the year so you don't run a deficit.
But since 2005 and beyond, Detroit's deficits have run over $150 million a year. And even with layoffs and concessions of the past, the city has borrowed billions to try and balance annual budgets. Today's report says in part that the city has violated the rules by not adjusting its budget on a timely basis. At this point, it has no approved deficit elimination plan for the fiscal year ending June of 2010. That past plans and budget proposals have been unrealistic. And Detroit's mounting debt problem with long-term liabilities are estimated at more than $12 billion. But with all its problems, today's move to appoint a financial review team is just another step towards sending an emergency manager to Detroit. Allowing city leaders to address the problems will continue while the review is underway.
So the fastest would be the city together with labor cutting their own deal, and that's what they're working toward now. So we are supportive and encouraging that. The second step is under a consent agreement, which we would negotiate with the city. And then the third and fourth options are, you get to an emergency and you have a manager in place.
So next month, the Treasury will begin the process of assembling the financial review team for Detroit. That hope now is that enough progress will be made by the city that the next step, a consent agreement or an emergency manager, is simply not needed. Now, coming up tonight at 6, the state treasurer answers the question that's on the minds of many people in Detroit. Does the state really owe Detroit more than $200 million? And is the state prepared to bail out the city when and if all those problems essentially come to the table?
So while many are decrying the possibility of an emergency manager, this seems to indicate, again, mismanagement of the budget for years.
Oh, I don't think there's any doubt that some of this goes back 50 years, and some of this management is pretty clear. And in this report, it is stated again.
Well, it's coming to a head now. All right, thank you much, Bill.